Welcome friends, welcome back to Sunday morning in the old cookbook show. Today we're not in the kitchen, so I welcome you to the Ozark Mountains and my cousin's cabin in the Ozarks. We're here because today we're going to do a recipe out of this, Ma's Cookin' Ozark Recipes. Let's go on inside and get in the kitchen. Okay, so we're going to do a recipe called Grandma's Soft Gingerbread. It starts out with butter that we're going to melt in this pot. Save the wrapper to grease the tin. Get the stove top on. So I'm supposed to melt the butter with, let me read the recipe, 1 cup of sorghum molasses. I'm a little low on measuring cups, so we're just gonna eyeball a cup. About that. Now, I'm supposed to melt them together and bring to a boil. So as this butter melts, we'll bring this up to a boil. There we go, that is boiling. So off it comes. Now, 1.5 teaspoons of soda. And that goes in and beat it in. Look at that bubble up. Okay, so look at that. So at this point, we've got a really thick foam, and I'm supposed to allow this to cool before I move on to the next step. Now, there's no measuring cups, so we'll just use a cup. So I need 2 cups of flour, and you don't really need to be all that careful with your measurements. It's going to be fine. Just do what you need to do. I'm going to call that 2 cups of flour. And then I think I need 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger. Let's call that 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger. And I need some salt. That's too much salt. That poured out a lot quicker than I thought it would. Okay, so in goes the salt. And we just give this a stir. There we go, that's stirred enough. Okay, the next thing I need is some, it calls for sour milk, which today is buttermilk or cultured buttermilk. So get some buttermilk and we need a couple of eggs. I certainly don't have as much space here as I normally have, but it's fine. Now, 1/2 cup of buttermilk. That's good. So this isn't totally cool, but I think it's pretty cool. So in goes the buttermilk. I'll whisk that in. And then 2 eggs. Now, we just mix the flour in. I'm going to use the whisk for the first couple of scoops of flour. Put in the last of the flour. I don't know if the whisk is going to get this all in. I might switch to the spoon. Oh no, it's doing pretty good. That whisked up really nicely. Okay. Now, I've got a glass baking dish. The recipe asks for a cake tin, which obviously would be metal. I don't have one here, so we're just going to make do. I have buttered it, but I didn't bother flouring it. It'll be fine. And I also don't have a rubber spatula, so we just make do with what we've got. Smooth the batter into the pan. And into the oven. 350 degrees, and your baking time will vary based on tin or dish. Okay,
Ha! It is ready.
it is ready.
Hi, friends. Hey, Glen.
Hey, Jules. So, here you go. Oh, it seems pretty moist, too.
It smells great.
Grandma's soft gingerbread.
It is definitely soft. I would add more ginger.
I would add more ginger, too. I would think more powdered ginger. And if you had some candied ginger, I'd throw that in, too, just to amp up the ginger flavor.
You're going to laugh, but dates go pretty well in it as well.
Seriously. But
That's a pretty nice cake.
that's a great starting point. And as much as there's a cup of sorghum in there, it's not really sweet. It does say, having trouble.
Add more if you want.
I'm not in my normal spot. Serve warm with country butter or topped with whipped cream.
Ooh.
So they're also expecting you to pile a little
Step
more
it up a notch.
flavor on top of it. That's really good.
Oh,
Our
stir the stew.
Our stew. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this episode from the Cousins Cabin in the Ozarks here in Arkansas.
I think it's worth noting, though, that this is a very old cabin.
This cabin goes way back. This is grandparents' cabin.
Who bought it off the lady who lived here forever.
Forever, and it's rough-hewn oak. It is incredibly rustic. It is
beautiful and fabulous.
Fantastic place to come and kick back and just sort of disconnect from the world. And as soon as we're done these two recipes, everything shuts off. We're just going to have a couple of books. We're going to sit outside. We're going to enjoy some time off. I love this cabin. I really do. Bit of a challenge to cook here because it's not my normal environment, but you can cook anywhere. You really can cook anywhere with the most basic ingredients. I love this cake. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.